Okay, it's day 503 off the grid, and we are totally off grid. Really? This is the third day of being without the generator since it died, although I have undertaken some mechanical repairs, but I won't know if they're successful until some of the liquid gasket I used has cured, which would have been today, but I was too busy with Mavtech. And I'm not here now because I was busy with Mavtech. I'm here again at Mavtech now. I've already been here today doing my radio show and attending the board meeting and the AGM, and that was all very cool. But just got back to Shannon, went to get some fish and chips after we had our first proper practice of the winter solstice song. And Radio Foxton was loud and clear, but when I got back in the car after picking up the chips in Shannon, we were off air. Well, all but off air. I knew we had a transmitter outage, didn't we? So I did contemplate leaving it till tomorrow, but I thought I'd just come and sort it out now. The fish and chips are in the oven at home. So what have we got going on here? Well, I think what the problem is the wet weather. We've got some extremely bad weather at the moment in Foxton. It was pelting down. It's raining in Shannon, but it's even worse here. And I've rebooted the transmitter now, so it's going. But I flicked to the reflected power here. And there's some guidelines that someone sketched here, and I do follow these, and they think that that should be less than 10 watts. Well, as you can see, I've adjusted it so it's just above 10 watts, but I'm only putting a forward power out here of about, well, it's supposed to be 125. It's dropped back a bit. We'll just tweak that. 125 watts instead of, well, we're legally capable of 200. And I have been running it at 100, about 175, 180 because of the heat, but this is a new problem. And I think what it is when the aerial gets wet, it causes the reflected power to increase. There we go, that's what I had it at, about 11 or 12. It's not a very linear meter to read that. And if there's too much reflected power, the transmitter freaks out, shuts down. And because it'll draw more amps and the power supply will shut down. The optimum range here is between 6 and 7 amps, and see, we're just over 6, so we'll leave it like that. So we're running on slightly reduced power, but hopefully massively increased reliability for this period. I call this the transmitter. Well, it's part of the transmitter. I mean, these two things together are the transmitter. That's really the linear amplifier, and that's the exciter. Together they are the transmitter. So temperature's not an issue now. We're only pulling about 18 degrees. In fact, it's gone up a little bit by about a degree since I've had the transmitter operating properly again. It was 17 before, but this is my second trip out, and I really want to get home and have my fish and chips, you know. Well, what else can I say? Well, yeah, like I said, the generator died on Friday night, so we basically had Friday night without a generator, and it had been wet weather all Friday. We survived that, and then Saturday night, obviously, fortunately today's Sunday, although it's pissing down now, for most of the day, well, there was some good sun in the morning and then sort of high clouded for the rest of the day, so we're okay at home for power. So it's like we're getting through this rather wet period without even relying on a generator. It's feeling like, well, really off-grid now. But here I am at Mavtech, as I said, you know, doing this on a call-out, an emergency call-out. That's what I got to do. But I think that's about enough for today. So yeah, did a couple of radio shows, and yeah, and alright, so go and make a test broadcast, see if Baffy picks it up and texts me, and then head on back to Shannon. I'm not sure what our range is going to be like on 125 watts, especially through the rain, when you get the rain fade, of course. So we'll see how that goes. On day 503 off the grid.